welcome back to the channel. It is Pickin and Grinnin time. We got a special guest this week. We got Mike Death Pile Picker. And welcome to those of you that's watching on Facebook also. We appreciate it. And hey, hit that thumbs up if you want to or not. We don't care.
Yeah. I got Mike some
Okay.
intro music. You ready?
Yeah, let's hit it.
This seems fitting to me. Come on, everybody. I'll stop.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it just blew your speaker out over there.
Yeah.
Corey, how's it going, my man? How's it going, Corey? So, Mike, say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. All what do we got? 7, 8, 10 of us soon to be.
It says 6.
That's good. See, I can't even see that.
Yeah. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you for coming on the show. I hate that it took so long to get you on here, the circumstances. I hope everything's going okay on that end for you. I hope y'all have got everything under control and situated there. And we just want to let you pretty much talk and tell us about yourself and tell us some funny stuff, man.
Well, I mean, first off, we're live. So,
yeah.
Looking, I actually got to catch up on the episodes of Corey and then Kevin. And
did you see
I was on part of the live when Kevin was there. I was driving to the airport to pick up his family, and I popped in. But my question, like, what are we allowed to say? Like, Brad, I think I remember you saying that you're a pastor, yeah?
Yeah, but I just played Highway to Hell, so. You know.
I mean, acknowledging the opposite to where we're all trying to get to is a little bit different, but versus having me on. So,
well, we did have Carrie on last week too. So,
right, but the only two people that ever put me live are y'all and Eric OBX.
All right,
who's a preacher as well.
Yeah.
So it's some kind of relationship with God that's needed and some kind of trust to
Mike's
do
over there,
this.
Mike's like, I'm working so hard not to say the wrong thing.
Well, I just need to know like what we can say, what we can't say. Like, what do y'all prefer before I even delve into the possibilities?
If you can edit out the F words, that'll probably be best.
Oh, hands down. I promise.
You can edit that part out and the GDs out. That'd be awesome. I don't even know if you use it or not, but I know people that do.
No, sir.
Okay, awesome.
No,
see, then we're pretty much good there.
Pretty crazy. Like the F word galore. Now on videos, no, there was a nice older lady who loved my videos. We ran into her at Webster, and she's like, I just had to quit watching it because you used the F word. And, one person makes a difference. And it's not just one. There's a lot of people that you come to find out that really appreciate the lack of it. And I just made her a promise. I said, I promise you I will never put another one of those in my video. And It actually makes me a little more mindful when I'm at a garage sale to kind of not do that, but just because it's distasteful to some people, to even sellers. And I mean, sometimes they can affect your relationship with them. So other than that, I mean, so what do we want to start with? COVID? Do we want to talk about COVID? January 6th.
Start with the election. Let's just see all the stuff.
I mean, the good news is, like, this is exactly why.
Yeah, we always got
to have a low risk. Worst case scenario, y'all lose 50% of subscribers. It only takes you down about 350 or so, 400.
Yeah. You're about right.
I mean, it's not crippling. I mean, you'll recover.
Hey man, you just be you, and if you cross the line, I won't say anything, and just watch Chris, that bead of sweat rolling down his forehead.
No, because
it's Chris's channel, so if we screw it up,
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's just take a quick moment to say hi to everybody in the chat. Andy, I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. Trash Cat.
Oh,
I got a surprise for you.
We got a surprise for you.
I work anymore.
I had to come back, Mike.
You
I had to
get
come back just for you.
like
Not Chris and Brad, just for you.
from YouTube at the moment, and you bring Leroy in here. He had to come back for me. Yeah. See, Leroy knows what I'm capable of. We rode together for what was it, like 4 hours almost. So
Yeah.
He knows I can get out of control.
And he'll just pop up at your shop and scare the living daylights out of you.
Hey, everybody who broadcasts on streaming, I don't want you to check something out. Leroy, you're kind of screwed. It's not going to help you out. But if you go down to your settings, you can do touch up my appearance. Look at that. Look at that filter. Look at that. See, I'm old right now. Do y'all see that? Watch this. Oh, now it's spinning the wheel. It doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, all them wrinkles show back up.
Yeah, it's like we don't want to touch that up. Let's see if I can. Hold on, because I mean this is great. Oh, why is it? Man, I had the filter on. It's got a filter, and this is now it's a show with Leroy. That's right.
Well, go
ahead. It's apparently I'm so ugly that the touch up my appearance is just it's buffering. It's like it's just spinning around.
You broke it.
Yeah.
You might have to take the Pickin and Grinnin thing off, Chris, for tonight.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
If we're going to talk about what's appropriate and inappropriate, I got a question, Mike. How big is it?
Like you want?
Your death call, of course. What did you think I told you?
Yeah.
My wiener.
He said wiener.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, it's actually why I think that's why I get to be on Trash or Cash. It's because of the jealousy and envy from Dave and Gary.
Yeah.
They walked in me on one time on a Jack and Jill. I was just getting out of the shower, water and running, so they seen more than they expected, and it's just jealousy. That's it. But the death pile, it's not as big.
Did you sell it off, or did Kevin rip you off?
No.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was actually, I called Kevin today because I was going to try and help out my grandpa and just covering the funeral costs and everything. For those of y'all that don't know, I've been MIA. I missed my last live with these guys, and then Kevin actually came on and covered for me. My grandma was at that time. She had 24 hours to live, brought my family in. I had to go pick them up at the airport. But that's why I've been in Texas for the last 3 weeks, 3 weeks or so, 3.5 weeks, just got back. But thank y'all very much for the flexibility. I'm a little ashamed. I don't think you understand what I went through to get Kevin on the show. And then y'all just chose to go downhill after that. It was supposed to be the opposite. Y'all were supposed to, it was supposed to get better and better. Yeah. But y'all are like, no, next guest, Terry, because everybody is just they're beating down the door to talk to him and then me. And,
let me tell you, you made Chris's year when you got Kevin on the show. He was freaking out just a little bit that Kevin was coming on the show.
Yeah, that was a total shock, and I was just like, "Whoa!" Yeah, so
y'all were very fortunate. I was very fortunate to have somebody that I can call, and I gotta say, Kevin is the best friend that money can buy.
Yeah, I want to say, hey,
is that what it is?
Yeah, I just want to say, I think it speaks a lot to your character because you didn't have to do that. If you'd have just said, "Hey, man, this come up and it's just unavoidable," it'd been like that'd have been plenty, dude. But
yeah.
Kevin nailed it. Yes, it did.
It says a lot about Kevin's character too. You know, to actually.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going.
Like I said,
we're not going to go that.
We're not. Okay.
Very, 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 very fortunate to have him come on. To have somebody like that is in my corner when I need it. Like times are tough, and I know a lot of us had it been somebody. I know I can call Leroy. Leroy can call me. So you find your circles within this community, and there's a ton of circles, and not to say the circles can't mix together, and we have a great time at like all the rallies that they have, all the meetups, things like that, and just a willingness to be able to learn from everybody. Now, I don't know what I'm going to teach anybody, but if you have a willingness to learn, sometimes it comes down to like what not to say, and that's my expertise.
I want to know how you can keep finding Star Wars stuff like you do. Some of the cool Star Wars stuff. I watched a video a while back where you found the AT-AT and a couple different things, and then I saw you had that kid where had that closet full of Star Wars stuff. You just keep reading up on that stuff, bro.
I was not really expecting the guy that had the closet full of it, and it was a bunch of Clone War stuff. So I wasn't super familiar with that. You know, you always love to find the 80s stuff. You try not to do the Power of the Force and stuff, the late 90s episode 1 stuff. But if you come across a big buy, like I'll buy it. But the Clone Wars, found that and gave it to him. This is lies right here. Kevin in the chat saying he found it and gave it to me.
Yeah,
he hasn't found anything.
I was just hollering at the screen the whole time. Just buy it. Just buy it. Just buy it. You had to go through that whole thing like he's having a heart attack and
It was tough with that because I remember that buy. It was somewhere close to. I mean, he was standing pretty firm around 300 or 350. I couldn't remember what it was, but I just you get to a certain point, and we all talk about it where we just say that, hey, find those few pieces that get you to break even, and then you're like, the rest of this is profit or paying for an education. So that's it. Leroy, what are you doing, man? What's the status, brother?
I'm thinking about you, buddy. I'll tell you guys. I don't talk about this often, because it wasn't my parade, but I was very fortunate one time to do a draft with Kevin, Rod, and Mike, and they bought. It was a boatload of Family Guy stuff, was it, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
It was a boatload of Family Guy stuff. I mean a boatload. And these guys, what was it, like 2 hours? Or no, it was like 2.5 hours. We had a break in between for dinner.
Huge waste of time.
Yeah, and Kevin ended up buying it all. And I helped everybody. I didn't even get a box of nothing. I didn't get a thank you, a box of nothing. I mean, I got a meal. I mean, you have to feed me if I'm coming to see you anyway. But no. But all kidding aside, that was cool. Like, I'm thinking about it now. That was just so much fun. Hanging with Mike and doing and wondering what they were gonna pick next. And you got 3 powerhouses like that: Kevin, Mike, and Rod, from Pickin' a Punch. And it sit back and just see
powerhouse. It's like I don't think that means what you think it means, dude. Powerhouse.
Well, Kevin's claiming everything in the chat that he picked everything that y'all are talking about. So
that's how you know it was mine.
Hey,
okay.
Kevin, if you're just jumping in and catching up, Mike's only said the F word 3 times so far, so he's doing good.
Not said it once. He did miss the January 6th talk, though.
Yeah. So what about that election? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had that.
Hey.
We had that conspiracy
what?
show on Friday night on a Bearded Picker show. Yeah.
Yeah, I clicked over there for a second.
That's every show, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I clicked over there for a second, and Chris was like, "What? What? We didn't go to the moon? What?"
Yeah, they're talking about going to the moon. I was like, people believe that for real? That was crazy.
How do I feel about being? We got to quit. How do I feel? About being called Kevin's Rod?
Oh wow! Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
I'm humbled. I guess I'm humbled. It's
yeah. I didn't.
Heather was looking for somebody skinnier, but
yeah.
So anyway, to answer your question, Mike, I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there. I'm hoping that I'll be up and going by September. I feel like I'm halfway there. So
that's good.
That's great news, Leroy.
What's the
I'm
new
glad to hear
plans?
that.
Like, what are you doing? Are you moving personally? You're going to a different shop? You're following the same guy somewhere
I'm
else?
following the same guy. He bought a place in 20 miles away. So it's Mike knows how close my shop was to my house.
Yeah.
If not having it in the backyard, you couldn't have got it any closer.
I don't know, dude. I will pay to be 20 miles away from my wife at all times of the day. So you're very, very fortunate there. I mean,
So Leroy, does that mean
personally
if
speaking.
Leroy, does that mean if I leave you stranded this time, I have to turn around and come back and get you?
Yeah, yeah. Last time Chris came to come see me, he left me at the. Yeah, but it's not as bad as when Mike came and broke into my warehouse and just in the photo booth taking pictures, and he just jumps up behind me, scared the living. I had a feeling he was coming, but I didn't expect him to just walk in.
Yeah, that's right, dude. I know my way around. It's not my first
Oh my
breaking and
God.
entering.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
This
It's more
podcast.
pressure tonight. Mike
Uh,
has more.
yeah.
Hey, the thing you got going for you, Kevin, is yours is pre-recorded, so you can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, a little less, but at the same point, Dave makes a good point. I sound like the Hamburglar. He's just like robble. Mike could beat Medicare. We're not going here, folks.
Yeah, we're not. We're not going
So,
there.
Mike, I
Chris,
got a question.
Chris would love to. Chris would love to. I have to be
No.
like, Chris, come back off that
No.
ledge. Brother. Come back off that ledge.
Yeah.
No, I can't. Look, I tried to mention something last week, and everybody left my show. Like they all scattered and
I had
hollering
to
about they
pee.
had to go
I
somewhere
had to go
else.
pee.
You
I
and everybody else
literally
was
had
in
to
here.
go pee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of us have our mind made up, and poor Leroy's over there just split 50-50 since he's half white and half black. I don't know. There goes my audition.
Oh, Leroy, great show Tuesday night with Kat, man. Enjoyed that, brother.
Yeah,
Did you get to go on with Cat, dude?
yeah.
I missed that one.
I was scheduled 17 months ago. So.
Right. Your show is very busy.
They schedule out like 6 months in advance. Rod was like, "Hey, could you come on?" I think that was in like April.
Yeah.
But I never say no to Kat, and I like Rod too. So, I even though I'm on sabbatical from eBay, let's just say that. I still, now I feel like I'm halfway there, and I feel good. Like the last couple, I was on Cat Show, I was on Resell Information Network. I had to come over. I was on Derek and Regina's show a couple weeks ago, and I had to come over and say hi to Chris because if I didn't, his feelings would have felt some kind of way. He gets real hurt, real bad, Mike. So you got to be gentle.
Yeah, I was kind of butthurt Tuesday night. You didn't even acknowledge it. I said hello to you or nothing, man. It's just
there's 783 comments in that chat. You didn't have time to acknowledge us.
You just follow along. You follow along like nobody else, Leroy. It's
How in the world can you make Leroy's appearance on Cat Show about you? Oh my God!
All right.
How was your show, Leroy? I was so happy. Did you have a good time? Oh, why didn't you say thank you to me? You see, Mike, he if it's not politics, he's very soft. He got a little soft bum.
So Leroy, I do have a question for you, Leroy. I do have a question for you. Serious question. Are you when you get
Hillary
back
Clinton?
up?
I'm voting for Hillary.
Yeah,
okay, so when you get started back up, are you going to be selling the same thing, or are you going to switch it all up and do something different?
Pink stuff.
I got some. I got some different stuff that I'm gonna be selling. I'm gonna sell some gold Brandon stuff.
What?
That's
What'd you say?
I love it.
Did he say gold Brandon stuff?
Yeah, come on. That's what he said.
It don't sell, Leroy. I've had it in my store for 6 months, man. It don't sell.
Chris is selling his personal collection.
Nobody wants it.
No, I'm gonna switch.
What's
up
Kevin
a-
talking about?
Honest Tim
DNR.
2024.
That's my pick. Honestly.
Derek and Regina. He said
Oh, wait a minute.
amazing. He's talking about
Really?
Derek and Regina. Derek and Regina had the 200th episode.
Who's Derek and Regina?
Oh, yeah.
They're a show. They're a podcast. They're both resellers. They're nice. I'll show you who they are.
I appreciate
Well,
it.
all resellers are nice, Leroy. I mean, ain't none of us mean.
Bull crap.
I'll
Really?
say
Doesn't mean
it.
what's out there?
Bull crap.
Oh,
A
Mike!
bunch of
Mike
them.
eyeballs got really big when I said that. Mike knows somebody that's mean. Who is it, Mike?
Mm-mm.
See, besides Kevin, I get to spend more time. I mean, I know Mike very well. I get to sell, and Mike's a good luck charm because I drove all the way home with Mike, and I made 20 sales that day.
That's right.
Holy cow!
Right. Now, nothing over $5, and he sent offers at 75% off. But
Shut up, Mike. Shut your face.
I'll
I
come
made
check
$200 that week off of those. No,
I'm
Him
gonna
gets
take a
me.
ride with Mike. I'm gonna take a
Give me
ride with
my
Mike.
run of donuts.
Tim's the
talking
reason he runs out of donuts.
We're talking about Tim from Reseller Information Network, right?
no,
Yes,
no.
yes, Tim over the
Honest
years.
Tim? No, Honest Tim is from.
No. That Tim, Honest Tim is 2024. Go
Yeah.
get your
Oh, okay.
shirt, your Honest Tim shirt at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Yeah,
But
he's-
the Tim
he's a
that
good
gets
market.
mean when he runs out of donuts is OTY
Oh,
over
okay.
the years, Tim.
Is that's the guy that?
Yeah, but Tim eats all the donuts, like just nonstop, just throughout the day. The dude has it for breakfast, lunch, and
He
dinner.
only weighs 162 pounds.
Not anymore.
Is
Somebody.
that the guy that has to use his own bubble wrap and he packaged up 17 items in 14 days?
I'm not talking about your friend like that. I mean, he's my friend too, but I only say nice things about people. Yeah, they're like the resellers.
Hey,
To each their own, dude. To each their own.
I've gotten packages from Tim, and so when he got a package from me, and he complimented my packing, I was like, "Dang, I have arrived."
Really? He complimented your package?
He did.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's impressive.
Yeah, but would you send him a Playmobil? You send him little figures? What did you do? Put a piece of tape
with
on?
the glass that you did?
No, it was a hat. I sent him a hat and some other
Yeah,
stuff.
Dinosaur Tim.
Yeah, Dinosaur Tim, yes.
But what did you say? You sent him a hat?
Yeah, I had
How do you
this anniversary Redskins hat.
It's like a 10 by 7 by 6, 10 by 7 by 4, like
Oh, and
8 by 6 by 4.
That's not a poly bag?
no, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
So you're gonna get Tim triggered. If Tim were to hear that, he'd be really upset with you. Also, sent him some beaver nuggets. He'd never had beaver nuggets, so I got him some beaver nuggets.
What's
from
that?
Buc-ee's. From Buc-ee's. You never been to Buc-ee's, Chris?
Never been to a
It's
Buc-ee's.
Redneck Paradise. You'll
Oh,
love it.
dude.
Never been to a Buc-ee's.
Drive to a Buc-ee's. Just go.
I went to
where do you
Myrtle
live at,
Beach.
Chris?
I live in South Carolina, over in Pickens. There's not a Buc-ee's around here, but when we go
There's
to Myrtle
supposed to
Beach,
be one. They're
Well,
supposed
when
to be making one over near Anderson.
no, there's one. I have not seen one in Anderson. I will say
No, they're
that.
supposed to be making one down that way.
Okay. But I seen one. I seen it off the side of the freeway when you get off when you get off of 95 in Florence to go towards
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach there.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
one right there on the freeway right there. I've seen it, but I haven't been. My wife has. My wife's been to all these places, and I just sit at home and
You
work,
can't get out of there under $50 a person.
that's what she told me. Yeah. She says really, really expensive.
Sorry, dude. They ain't coming to South Dakota. Hey, I'm sorry. Like, y'all don't even have 100 cars to fill up a Buc-ee's. Like, tractor parking. I mean, boy, you're
That's
screwed.
funny.
Just go to Tennessee.
Oh, did you see that one video where they drove like an hour or whatever it was to go yard selling, and they had to cross a lake in the middle of the freeway? Nobody's gonna be able to make it at a big flood.
Corey did.
Who puts
Yeah.
who puts their hats in a 4x4x4?
I put one in an 8x6x4 this morning and shipped it out. Sure did.
Hey,
What
what
is this?
part of the country you live in, Mike?
I live in the South.
The South. All right.
I
No,
live
I
in
mean, I could
Florida.
discern that.
That could be. I got a friend that says he lives
I know.
in the
He
South.
said,
He
"What
lives
part
in
of the
Maryland.
country?" Well,
But
just say,
you're
where you
Florida,
live.
Alabama, right? You're on that side of Florida.
Yeah, I'm Southern Alabama.
How close are you? How close are you to St. George Island?
St. George Island.
Yeah.
Not close enough to know, even heard of it.
He's not on that side of the state, then, Leroy.
No, I'm up by Destin.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. What's the Pickin
Is
like?
that over there,
Okay.
Alabama?
I go to vacation down
Pickin
there.
line, it's pretty decent. You got to drive 30 minutes to get to the more populated towns. I mean, I live in a decent town, but it's also big meth population. So I mean, take your pick. I mean, great deals. I mean, people sell anything for any amount of money. You just find them at the right time.
Mike,
We got the meth capital of Tennessee about 15 minutes away from here. So,
Mike, I got a
right.
personal question for you.
Hmm?
I don't know why I'm asking you this, but I am. Do you live in an HOA?
We're renting right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're renting while
I could just see Mike in an HOA and they tell him, hey, listen, you can't have too many packages on your front lawn. And Mike tells him,
you don't want to know.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to know. Where we're going is going to be it's kind of an HOA, but more like a POA. They didn't really have properties just because it has like a community lake that they have to upkeep and everything.
yeah.
So you got to pay that a year, which is really stupid, but it's not.
You can't have more than a 20-foot
price,
vehicle in the driveway. And
A what?
some of them you can't. If your vehicle's over 22 feet, it can't be in your driveway. You can't have commercial vehicles. You can only have 3 cars. Some of them now that you can't have a business out of your garage.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
what HOA don't know won't hurt them.
I seen a video on YouTube the other day, one of the little shorts, or it might have been TikTok. I can't remember, but a lady walked up to a person's house and complained because their American flag was hanging over and talking about, we got rules and regulations about flags hanging on the side of your house. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
People just walk up to your house and start complaining.
Yeah.
Time for a flagpole.
My
She can take a seat on it. Man, I don't give a shit.
my mentors, their neighbor had a birdhouse, and you're not supposed to have a birdhouse in your tree. And she said it's not a birdhouse, it's a bat house.
I mean, where do they come up with these rules at? I mean, how do you even?
I don't know why I thought about that. I was just like, I can imagine Mike in an HOA, like his wife would be the one to have to deal with him. He could live in one, but I could just picture Mike getting ticked off for stupid reasons.
I did it plenty of times in Georgia because we had an HOA there, and we actually said like we'll never live in another HOA. So we bought some land, and we were choosing to sell that land in Florida. We bought that in order to move down here and build a house. Well, truth be told, it needs a $150,000 retaining wall, and it would give us like the drop on it would be 18 feet on the back end.
Yeah,
and it would give us about half acre.
That's it.
Space out of the 2 acres that we own. So we're selling that, and then we're buying another one with 3/4 livable, but it's on a lake and everything, so it'll be a nice upgrade. It make my wife happy. I don't give a crap. I just mow a yard outside and I go to a little area.
Kevin didn't deed you a spot up there on his plantation?
Yeah.
He did, and then his wife spreaded it.
Oh, well, how about that?
Well, how about that? So how close are you to Rod and Dave?
He's way on the other side.
far enough away.
Okay.
Right.
I asked that because Carrie's coming down there too. From what I understand, he's getting ready to move down there to Florida too.
Yeah, they're moving in. Just, I mean, metaphorically speaking,
Hmm.
right at Dave's back door. All right, but
Is there a bromance there? At all?
what's that?
Is there a bromance there at all?
Bro, man, they're full on gay. What are you talking about, bro, man?
Full love affair, dude.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I'd
You're
say
like,
no
you're on
homo, but
you're
I'd
on
be
the
lying.
phone. It's like I'm not gonna hang up. You hang up. I'm not hanging up.
Oh,
You hang up. I just want to hear you breathe.
Yeah.
We love you. I love you guys, so I'm just picking on you guys just
Oh,
because
I do too, man. I think they're hilarious. I think they're hilarious.
No, but you're, honestly, Mike, you're what, like 4 hours from them, right?
Yeah, Rod and Dave give me some shit because I was talking about going down to Webster's and coming out there and doing some yard sales with them for different times. And they're like, you're talking about all this stuff and you moved 20 minutes closer. Like that's all the difference from where I was in Georgia because I moved down here.
Yeah.
I was up there. It was a straight shot down. And now I just go over and go down. And they're like, I don't know why you're pretending like you live in our state now. Like, no, you're not. You live in South Alabama. That's what this is. I mean, I'm actually closer to Alabama than I am the beach, or I'm right about the same.
How long?
About 30 minutes to both.
How long for you to drive to the border of Alabama?
Hour and a half.
Oh, so it is that far. Okay.
Yeah, you're a good ways away.
Yeah.
I thought it
What
was
part of
about
Georgia? What part of Georgia did you move from?
Columbus.
That's below Atlanta.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
below Macon. Yeah, that's down there below Macon and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was.
Well, no, that's west. That's on the. Wait a minute. Columbus
Yeah.
is on the Alabama state line.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on Chattahoochee, but
Yeah.
it's about an hour and a half southwest of Atlanta.
You doing the 127 this year?
Yes, sir. We're doing a lot. We'll be going up to hit up
Canada,
some.
right? You guys are starting in Canada?
Yeah, no. Crossville. We'll be in Crossville.
Seems like everybody's going to Crossville.
Oh, so you are going to Crossville.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we're saying.
Crossville. You're going to the meetup, right?
Oh, meet with who?
Well,
No.
I'm going to meet up with Leroy on somewhere in Georgia, Tennessee, or somewhere.
No, we're going to do something. We originally planned for Ohio, but I think we're going to go with Kentucky area. But it just depends. Our whole goal was to get an Airbnb and invite all the former members of the reseller locker room, but we have yet to find a house big enough. So they have 40 former members.
He's trying to start a war for your channel, Chris.
Do what now?
It gets views. Gets views.
Wait a minute. I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea.
Reseller locker room.
He repeated it.
Yeah, reseller locker room. Reseller locker room.
Wait a minute.
It's not them. It's not them. They're having a meetup. We're just doing the former members, all 42 of them.
Well, I'm going to I'm going to meet up in Crossville.
Are you not familiar with reseller locker room?
No,
Mike,
I have
I'm
no
going
idea
to the
who that
meetup.
is.
He doesn't know.
I'm going to the
my
meetup.
God.
So be nice.
My God, they got a higher turnover than Walmart. Like it's crazy. Heck,
You just got to
Look at
text Kevin going.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Nope, I'm safe.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Grams and Pop. Say, Corey, I found for somehow I didn't know the reseller. What is it? Clickbait. I didn't know the reseller clickbait podcast existed, and I just found that in the last week or so, and I've been enjoying that immensely. So thank you for doing that, by the way, I really enjoyed hearing your whole procedure about how you get dressed and when you put deodorant on and what you do with your. Well, you get it whenever when it's hot and sweaty. And anyway, yeah,
Wait a minute, where'd you hear that at?
on a reseller clickbait
Oh my
podcast. I think
goodness.
that's what it's called.
So you're
Am I
so you're
right,
learning.
Corey?
All right.
Is
So
it
wait a minute.
reseller
Wait a minute.
clickbait?
Yeah,
All right.
reseller
So on one
clickbait
podcast, all right. So on one podcast, we're learning what keystring is, and on the other podcast, we're learning how to get dressed and put deodorant and everything else on. And then, what's the other one I watch?
Resell Information Network.
Yeah, we watch Reseller Information Network, but y'all talk about reselling stuff.
Yeah, it's shitty.
Yeah.
So boring. I was like,
So if anybody
not
that's
for
watching
me.
this on right, anybody that's watching this on Facebook, because I'm part of a eBay for Beginners Facebook page, and I always put this link in there because there's people out there that's just started reselling within the last 6-7 months. And if there's anybody watching it right now from that group, you have to go check out. I am going to give them a shout out. Reseller Information Network. Leroy is part of that whole thing over there, and it's just the four of them. It's Eric, Cernock, and Tim. Over the years, they all get together and they have a 3-hour podcast that they teach you about reselling. So if you want to learn about reselling,
Jimmy's
go watch
filling
him.
in at the moment. I've missed the last few weeks, but I did catch it this bad. Is Jimmy filling in for you, Leroy?
Yeah, he's been coming in to visit. He's back. He's back at it. He's back visiting again. He was with us in the beginning.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, he fired us.
He fired y'all. Jimmy's doing what's that? Leftovers, reseller leftovers now.
Jimmy's on his 14th.
Yeah, reseller leftovers podcast.
Speaking of reseller leftovers, we got Dan in Demand coming on next week. So
yes, Dan in Demand's going to be on here next week. Sure is. Leroy.
Yeah, that's what I do anytime Dan's mentioned too. Shit, why not? Like, okay.
No, I like Dan. I like Dan.
And then the week after that, which is the 18th, I believe, we're gonna have John from Rad Relics on.
I was never told. Do we got to pay for these people to come on? Are you still paying people to come on, or?
Man, Chris, since you left, we can't split the bill anymore. Chris making me pay for all of it.
Oh.
And I
you just have to get Dan. I think Dan, you just have to pay for a month worth of his prescriptions. That's it. So it's just a bunch of anxiety meds, stool softener.
Yeah. Nice.
Anything scares the shit out of him. So you just like to have the stool softener.
I love it.
Oh man. Ooh, so Mike, do you go sourcing a lot with ADH Dave? Because I have a question. I watched the video. I don't know if it was you that made it or him that made it. I think you made it. Yeah, it was you that made it. You and him went to an estate sale, and in an estate sale, y'all went into a room apparently you wasn't supposed to go to and got some stuff that she wasn't selling. What I want to know is how much of that video did you cut out? Because that couldn't have been everything. Because that'd been me. I mean, that would have been a whole different situation.
We cut out a lot. I try and do a lot. I was picking very limited stuff, so I was just finding some stuff that I like, something that I can make a funny story out of, make a joke of. On that one, we had found some Kevin's Plantation clothing. And I just made a joke like, this isn't Turner size. And I found a Marlboro jacket that I wanted to get, or the tracksuit. And then that was when Dave swallowed that lady's ashes. Well, that's what we like to say. Yeah, but no, I just... There was a ton of stuff that was in there. And I mean, a ton of stuff that you could have made some money on, but a lot of it was just the cast iron could have been in perfect condition, but there were holes in the roof. So I think it just rusted sitting there and we didn't want to deal with it. I mean, you saw that lady's piss poor attitude. I saw that. unfortunately, I was just like, all right, I ain't buying crap from you.
I mean, she come running up to Dave, was like, "You can't have that. You're not buying that." No.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
like,
was you got that out of the back room, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you got that off that dresser. And it's like, yeah, well, we're not supposed. Well, it was on that dresser. Like, it was out with everything else, lady.
But didn't she
And then
allow somebody else to buy something out of that room too?
yeah, I bought some shit right off of it, right next to it. The
Yeah,
guy right
yeah.
in front of us. Dave's like, I should have just went to the daughter. Like, that lady. We considered just going and grabbing all the stuff and then going to that, wait for that lady to disappear. But I didn't want to deal with her. I ended up buying a lamp from the daughter, and it was just cheap enough that, well, one of those green desk lamps. You know, you always see the brass pole, and it's got the green glass, like a,
Yeah.
Brass
a
pole. He
banker,
said brass
banker's
pole,
lamp.
Chris.
Yeah,
He said brass pole.
brass pole. That's
So
right.
speaking of going,
Ribbed for her pleasure. Ew.
Oh wow! He said
It's from Wayne's World. I'm quoting movies here. All right, I'm not out of control.
so I got a question. I got a question. So speaking of going to yard sales and thrift shops and sales, and waiting for someone like the husband, he goes in the house and you hurry up and buy something. I know people think that's dirty, but has anybody ever done that? Like I definitely have. Like a lady was selling something. I said, "How much?" She said, "I don't know. He went in to get such and such." And she said, "Well, I don't know. Give me $5, man." I ran to the car. I put it in a car, and I went to the next yard sale. I was out. I got like an $80 thing for $5.
Hey, hold on. My movie prowess has just been called into question by Corey.
no.
So you watch a different Wayne's World.
I know the reference.
So I'll tell you this: Garth was in there looking at Rob Lowe's stuff, and he had pulled out a box of condoms from the night, and he was like, "Ribbed for her pleasure." Ew. That was
You. Yeah.
Corey. That's Winona's World. Shut up. Back to Leroy stealing. No, Leroy. I've never done that. I've never.
We would never do that.
Yeah.
You guys have never. You're lying sack of baloney.
I just watched a video of Mountain Man Treasures, and he was buying some Funko Pops, a whole lot of Funko Pops, and the guy told him, he says, "Yeah, 150 for every one of them." And the lady's like, and he asked the guy in front, or he asked the lady, and the guy says 150, and she says, "Oh no, they're worth way more than that, 200." And he sat there and he says, "I should have just went to the guy to start with," because he put that in the caption in the video.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of times where we look at situations like that, and we could take advantage of certain things. But like in the event, if it's even the wife questioning, like what the husband not being there or anything, Leroy, just be patient and wait, and be fair and honest, and
I didn't steal it.
stop ripping people off, Leroy.
I gave her the amount, and I went back and I took off.
So
I went to
never mind. Back to the back. I said I didn't want to talk about resellers that I don't like. I changed my mind. Leroy.
No, do you dislike the white Leroy or the black Leroy? Because you can't dislike both of them.
I'm 50-50.
I
50-50 on both.
in one of my first videos, I went to an estate sale, and it was two sisters selling everything in the home and
that's
building and stuff. And she one of them I picked up a bunch of. Matter of fact, Leroy's all them tools I keep saying I'm going to bring to you so you can show me how to clean them off. All the old rusted pipe wrenches and stuff, the real old.
Nobody's got time to do that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying it, Mike.
Not by Leroy standard. Leroy just goes and sits out at a picnic table and just cleans shit all day long. You don't want to delve into it like Leroy.
Oh, no. Okay.
Do you sell clothes? I'll tell you that. Do y'all do a lot of clothing sales?
I don't do a whole lot. I
hate measuring and everything like that.
Yeah, I can't stand
it. Take the dedication that you have to have with clothes and then multiply it by 10, and that's Leroy piddling with tools.
That's baloney. That's baloney. I disagree.
Yeah.
Am I lying, Leroy?
Yes.
You telling me you don't go?
I take
tell
the
me you
tool, I
don't
put
go
it on
outside?
the grinder for 2 minutes or a minute and a half, and then I spray with spray paint, and then I list it. I don't spend all day and.
Did you not
Wait a
take
minute.
me out to the picnic table where you bring a big tub of stuff and you'll
Yeah.
sit there and clean it with a wire brush? Oh, I do this right here. I'm gonna clean this stuff. Did you not do? Did you not say that's what you do?
I do, but it don't.
Okay.
Each item, I don't spend a lot of time on each item. I'll spend 3 hours on a whole tub, but not each item. If it's too involved, I won't pick it up.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I've
sorry,
been
go
selling
ahead,
them.
Chris.
I've been selling them rusted anyway, so I didn't bother to clean them. But I did sell half of the ones I got. But this lady, I went up to her and I says, "Hey, I got $22 for all these," and she just looked at me and she's like, "I says, can you take 22 for all of them?" And she just looked at me. She was going to tell me no, and the sister just blindsided her and just walked up. She says, "Yes, she's going to take them because she don't need them. She's going to take 22 because she don't need them," just like that. So.
Should
And then
offer
the lady,
10.
yeah, and then the lady's like, "Well, if you make $1 million, can you send me a profit?" And I'm sitting there looking at him. I'm like, "There's no way he's going to make $1 million." A lot of people they think because it's old that it's going to make somebody rich, and it's not. I mean, it's not going to make them. I mean, now Kevin can find stuff that's old and make him rich. I mean, I watched
Kevin's
the video
already
the other
rich
day.
and Kevin's already old.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah.
mean,
Well, I mean,
that's
That's
actually what his wife did on their first date. She went looking for something old to make her rich, and
Is
found
it
Kevin.
true? Since you're kind of connected there, is it true that they met when he went to pick up his teeth? When he went to pick up
Let's
his
not use
teeth.
the word connected. I don't like.
Okay,
Makes
well,
it sound like
not connected.
space docking or something.
Wow,
Hey,
you just go there. You just go there on everything, right?
Just say you're an acquaintance. Just
Okay,
say-
you're an acquaintance of Kevin. Is it true that he met his wife when he went to pick up his teeth from the pharmacy?
Yeah. 100% not true, but I've never even heard that story. So, is it on a recent Trash to Cash podcast or something?
No, I just made it up.
No.
I made it up. I'm trying to get Chris's show canceled, and Kevin's the one who can do it.
Yeah. Kevin's gonna get canceled. I mean, it's a wonder he ain't got
that's not
canceled
gay.
after he watched. He must not have watched Carrie's when Carrie was on, because if he'd have seen that clip that you played, then it's a wonder it ain't canceled already. Yeah.
No, Kevin
It's a
was
wonder
in
he
there.
even got a
I remember
YouTube
y'all
channel.
talking to Kevin. I remember y'all talking to Kevin in the middle of Carrie's thing. Kevin came in. He was BSing a little bit. He drops in a little bit. That's what he does. And then
You didn't
he's
see
like,
the
I got to record a video, or I got to sit under my tree, or whatever.
You didn't see you didn't see the video we made. For
I
him,
saw
did
the
you?
dead dog. I saw the wall.
Yeah.
No.
That's 100% factual. Leroy, did you
Hey.
see the video?
Leroy,
Oh, yeah,
you gotta
Kevin
go back.
murdered
Yeah.
the dog. He's just all
Kevin
mad. He
murdered
was
the-
sitting under his tree.
The
what
Got
black
all
dog.
pissed.
Where is this?
It's
I'll
on.
show
It's
you
on the
the
video.
last week's episode.
I done got Chris a copyright strike doing it the first time, so I'll have to.
They muted the. No, you can play it. We just gotta mute the.
Oh,
the-
right afterwards, yeah.
What's
did
the-
it have
what's
music
the-
on there?
What's the music you had to play? And we had to mute that music, so you can
Oh,
play the
Sarah
video.
McLaughlin in the Arms of the Angels. Everybody knows that's the dog video.
Yeah,
The
you
dog
can't.
song.
Yeah. I had to mute that.
That was funny. I used
3
that
seconds
same
worth.
one when I did a Christmas promotion on my Instagram. I was just doing this kind of little spoof on that, and I had my dog, and I tossed him out a window, and it was pretty crazy. I tossed him over the side, and you heard the glass break and stuff. But
Look, I want to
yeah,
say
of course,
this
you
right
got
now.
you got to use Sarah McLaughlin.
Yeah.
McLaughlin.
I want to say this.
this.
I want to say this right now. Everyone that's watching this, we are not dog haters. We love dogs. I love dogs. I can't speak for anybody else here, but we just like picking on certain people, and so don't take offense, please. Just don't take offense.
Oh, Chris got all serious, and
I
he's
don't,
making.
yeah, I don't think anybody's in here.
Like,
Like,
we got Corey. Corey done put down 3 dogs today.
yeah.
Coyotes don't count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tell you, Yeah, we absolutely love dogs, but I tell you the truth, we all hate cats. Cats suck. It's for girls.
Hey,
JP's got a question for the panel there.
oh yeah. Jay, we got a serious question here. Have you guys ever had to put your eBay store on vacation mode due to active God inclement weather? I don't live in a hurricane area, but well, Mike, you live in the hurricane area down there. Tell me about that.
Actually, no, not really hurricane. We moved down to Florida. We've had three tornado warnings, like in our couple miles away, come through our town, but no hurricanes whatsoever. But eBay store on vacation, act of God. Uh, I mean, my wife pretends she'll come through and she'll be like, "No, we're going on vacation." I treat that as an act of God because
Yeah.
I follow her. And but no actual weather or anything. No,
I've
it's too
had
easy
to,
though.
yeah, I've had to do it because of power outage when we lived over in Clayton. Excuse me, over in Georgia. And when I had a bad snowstorm come in, we had a power outage for like 2 or 3 days. I had to put it on vacation mode during that time. I put it on. I didn't put it like shut the store down. I still allowed sales to come in. It's just that my shipping time was going to be off.
Hey, sorry to hear that, JP. He said they
Yeah.
had to put his on hold. He took a direct hit. Wow.
Yeah.
Direct hit on weather or direct hit on like lack of sales?
No weather.
Weather.
Probably
yeah.
weather. He's probably talking about. Didn't a hurricane come through Texas here recently?
Yeah, like the other day, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is Corey saying here? He says, we got snowed in and had to for 1 day, but the tracker got us to the post office the following day.
Spoken like
The
a true
tractor.
redneck. Love it.
Yep. Love the tractor.
Yeah,
Snow is
man.
not an act of God, Corey. You live in the north. All right. But I mean, okay, inclement weather. That's not
I'll
even
tell you-
inclement. It's not unexpected.
Corey's
Just
probably got
keep
a
the
snow
tractor
machine up
running
there.
from after November.
Yeah.
It feels weird having my store shut down for like 2 months.
I bet.
I bet it does.
The thing, if you ask me what do I enjoy about it, not slaving to the post office. Like I just feel like I'm not slaving to eBay. Like I can go away and not have to worry about, oh my God, I gotta get back to go shipping.
Do you do did you when you had your eBay store up, did you do next business day or
I did next business day, but I shipped it out within 3 hours.
yeah.
Oh my God, dude!
So what about when you
Schedule
come
your
back?
listing. Like, did you have mail pickup?
No, Mike, I had 4 post office within a mile from my house.
Within a mile from his house. He can walk to him.
Well, I mean, did you make multiple trips a day?
Yeah.
That's no.
I
wonder.
made one at 10 o'clock and one at when they closed at 4:45.
No.
Well,
If you're gonna do
I
that,
finally-
you do it all at the end of the day and just relax, enjoy your time. Like you having to do
Oh,
that ship
I
the
gotta
next day.
those two $5 items so I can get more money to do other stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
understand, Leroy. Yeah.
So
I used to ship a couple of times a day, but here recently I've just started when I leave at around 11:30 or so. That's my only time. Maybe when you come back, Leroy, have you considered maybe not doing next business day or maybe doing a couple of days to give you so you can
No, I'm doing it that day. I gotta do it different. The new place, the post office, that now they want a stupid scan sheet. So I gotta my other post office I could drop off 15 packages and it didn't matter. But now
Just tell them what my mom always told me: want in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one fills up first. Don't give them a scan sheet; they don't need that. It's their
like
job
your
to
mom.
scan it.
I was like, I got 6 packages. You're gonna make me, but the person who comes in and gets what do they call those designated letters there? Shoot. Does anybody know what the letters like? Certified letter, a certified letter. Where I live, Mike's been here and Chris has been here. Where I live, there's like 500 apartments. Okay, the post office near me, the ladies who work here, they'll go there and do like eviction notices through certified letter. They're in there for 2 hours. But you're gonna yell at me because I got 6. This place doesn't, but you're gonna yell at me because I got 6 because I got 6 packages. You want a scan sheet? I'm gonna just go in and like dumb. Like I don't have a printer. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of times where I'll take up like whatnot orders when I was doing those, and I'd have like 60 of them that I would be dropping off, and I would just drop them off. But it's somebody's like, you need a scan sheet. If they say, you bet your sweet ass, I'm just going to stand there and watch them scan in every package. And I will tell them, no, I do not. Like,
Yeah.
just but
I got one.
I won't make you do your job.
I got one guy. He at the post office I go to. One of the post offices. There's 3 of them that I go to in my area, but one of them. He every time I come in there, he's like, "You want to set those on the counter?" And I'm like, "No, I want you to scan them."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna be a while." I says, "Okay, I'll wait. I need a receipt."
Yep.
He's like, "Well, I says, are you gonna put the receipt in my mailbox?" He says, "No." I says, "Then I'll wait." And so he'll sit there and I'll sit there and wait on him. I mean, I'm because see, when I was living in Georgia, the post office over there, if I had a lot of packages, I could drop it off and they'll be like, "All right, we'll send you the receipt in your mailbox. It'll be in the mailbox tomorrow." And I'm like, "All right, no big deal." Well, that's what will happen. Well, this guy, when I go in there and I talk to him about doing that, he's like, "No, we don't do that here." I'm like, "All right, well, you're going to scan them before I leave because I need a receipt."
I just don't feel comfortable. I really don't. I enjoy going to the post office.
What do you expect, a recliner? Just stand in line to 6 packages. Get a damn receipt.
Right?
What are you talking about?
Right.
What's uncomfortable?
I just got my first return I've had in probably 3 months. I sold a golf club, the first golf club I've sold this year, and I've sold it, and it's completely my fault. And the lady just sent me a message. She says, "I'm writing to get some help in my order. Package arrived well wrapped. Thank you. The 7-iron I purchased wasn't sent. Instead, I received a 9-iron. Is the 7-iron still available? Can we exchange them?" So I go and I look at the listing, and I'm like, wait a minute, I only have one of these golf clubs. And the listing says the title is for a 7-iron. The description and everything is for a 7-iron. But guess what it is? It's a picture of a 9-iron. And I don't have a 7-iron, so I'm going to have to send a return label and have her ship it back. I was so excited. I sold my first golf club for the year.
How much was it?
The golf club, let's see,
$3.
No, $26.06 plus $11.99 shipping. So, they paid $40, I think, for it altogether after taxes and everything.
I also had my first return in a while too. And it was my fault, but it was just a stupid cassette tape, but the self-similar that I did had NOS at the end of the title, which means new old stock.
Old stock, right.
But I had it listed as used and tested. So it's one of those, like, it's like, if you looked at the listing, it's not, but I was like, yeah.
Did they even look at the pictures? Is it one of you took pictures of it?
I don't know. I have a very low return rate. I might get 3 or 4 returns a year, and out of 2,800 packages, that's not bad. But
I mean, I can sit here and easily be like, I can't believe they didn't look at the pictures, because if you look at the pictures, it clearly shows it's a 9-iron. I can sit there and blame the customer all I want, but in all actuality, it's truly my fault because everything else in the listing says 7-iron. So
yeah.
I mean, it's no biggie. I mean, I was like, man, that's my first one in probably 3 or 4 months, and so. Hey, all right, Corey, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey's trying to go record our podcast, teach some more bushcraft. Oh my God.
How long
are you talking about? What bushcraft are you talking about? Like Ken's beard? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they were talking about on their show, bushcraft. So I don't know.
No, that's not what they talk about. Corey barely even talks on their show.
Oh, does he? What show is it again?
I don't think he's allowed to.
Wait a minute. I need to. Is it the one they do on Sunday nights that him and Teresa do?
No, it's him and Ken. SSK promo.
Okay, I need to write it down.
Reseller clickbait. The only clickbait about it is that it doesn't really deal with reselling. It's just
clickbait.
How long you been doing this, Mike? How long you been reselling, doing that kind of stuff? We don't get a lot of backstory on your videos. It's
no, not a lot. I don't. most people don't care to hear. 3 years. 3 years I've been doing this, and yeah, I just got into it kind of a whim after the fact. I was watching some videos. I used to do a lot of bass fishing, and I was watching somebody. I've told this story before. I was watching videos of this guy that would broadcast from the shed, and I couldn't remember his name. And I put like bearded guy in his garage. It was his garage that he had his boat there, and it actually pulled up froggy flips. I'd seen a video, and then that led to somebody that led to somebody that led to somebody that just
So
you end up starting to see different people in that genre, and I was like, hell, I can do that. I do that already. I did it out of my just a garage, like buying random stuff.
So how long
Mike
have you
does
known
videos.
Kevin? How long have you known Kevin, and how did you meet Kevin? Is the interesting story I like to hear.
Oh God, this is so bad. I don't know. Is Kevin in here? I'll tell the story of Kevin's in here.
I have no
Well,
idea.
you met Kevin whenever you were waiting in line to pick up your erectile dysfunction prescription, and he was picking up his teeth.
No, it was the other way around.
Oh, okay.
I ain't got no dysfunction.
Oh my God, I can't.
Oh, hey,
What does
come on.
Leroy got?
Well, man, that's like, yeah, you better turn the video off. Make everybody jealous.
Eating ice
Yeah.
cream as hot as it is, yeah.
I'm just mad because I can't touch up my appearance still. It's still spinning. Like
Oh,
it's
you
still
look
like,
beautiful. You look beautiful. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
I
to go.
know. No, realistically.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, Kevin's here. Kevin's here. You gotta tell the story.
Yeah, busted.
Yes.
Man, he loves this story. They actually talked about it recently. Well, they didn't talk about it. He threw a shot at me saying that that's the time we met Mike. Realistically, how it all happened. David moved from North Carolina to Florida, and they talked about it on the podcast. Dave talked about the Noid. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I really like that Noid." He's like, "I ain't spending that kind of money." So I was just like, well, "Hell, I ain't got a problem with it." Like, I was still working at the time, so like all my reselling money just went to more reselling shit. I didn't care. So I bought the Noid, and I sent it to Kevin. Well, I sent it to Dave. I had Kevin send it to Dave, but I sent a request. I was like, "Please, in your video, say." Dear NC, I think I forgot what it was, NC something or other, and just said, "This is my Noid. You will have a Noid, but it will never be this one. You're inadequate and insufficient in all things that you do, and you'll be second best and all this other crap." And Kevin reads the message, and he's like, "Yeah, okay." And he's like, "Are you sure you want to like buy this for him?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." Well, Kevin then sends me like a message 2 days later. He's like, "Oh yeah, I already shipped that off. Sorry," and he didn't. Because I wanted him to wait and put the video and then ship it. But Kevin had, I've had 42 special requests for shipping from Kevin, and he has failed on 43 of them. So
Wow.
he exceeds the standard of just not listening to you. So anyway, I buy the Noid thing, and like that's kind of like how I just start talking to him, and we were just BSing about some different stuff. And then I go up to 127, and I took my camper up there, and like everybody was trying to come to town, and nobody knew where they were staying when I first booked. And I was like, "Well, I got my camper. Any of y'all are welcome." Now, mind you, it's just stranger danger. Like, who the hell does this? But I mean, we're all pickers. And if anybody needed a place to stay, I just reached out and I just opened my door. Now, I could have got murdered or raped or whatever. Who knows? Because, if there's those kind of people out there, I ain't saying there is, but if within the community. But
you got names to go with that?
No, I do not. I'm not doing that. But we go to dinner, And I had brought him just some generic stuff. I think I brought Kevin an ashtray or something. I brought Dave some plush. I brought Carrie something. It was a Batman belt buckle, some stuff that I'd picked up. I was like, well, I don't want to come not bearing gifts or anything. Uh, of course, I was fully expecting for Kevin to pay for my dinner because that's what everybody does apparently. And no, I paid for my own dinner, but Uncle Steve was there. So it was Uncle Steve, Kevin, Dave, Don, and Carrie. First time meeting them all. First time any of them met me. And 100% of them, all of them, thought I was drunk. they're, they're just, they're like, oh, there is no way in hell this guy's not a raging alcoholic. So I give them crap. But we parted ways at the dinner. And this was on, I think we got to town early, so it was Wednesday or Thursday. And Kevin's like, well, thanks for coming to dinner. We'll see you Saturday night at the meetup. And like, that was it. Kevin's like, I don't even want to see you then. But we go there, and then they end up doing a hangout. Maybe the meetup was Wednesday night, and the meetup was Friday night. But they end up doing another thing at their Airbnb. So everybody was like going to this Airbnb. Except me. I was sitting in my camper just taking pictures of shit that I'd bought, and I did not get an invite. And I was out picking with the people that were going to this, but I was picking with the wrong people that actually have boundaries and stuff. Like I was picking with Tim and Eric, Josie. So all of them were like, yeah, we have this thing to do with Kevin. And, I'm not presumptuous or anything. Be like, yeah. But then you see this live. Their whole podcast, and they're just bringing in this rotation of guests, and I mean it's like 20 of them coming through, and I'm like, holy cow, it's everybody but me. And it might as well been Trashy Cash Meetup Part 2 minus AM Pickers. I was AM Pickers at the time, and I can tell you, I get emotional about certain things, and it hit me hard. And I think it was a week later. I didn't know what exactly was going on. I knew that they had something to do with Kevin, and I knew it was a close group of their friends that knew. And then I see it on the Tragic Cat podcast like 2 weeks later. And on that night, I created Death Pile Picker. I was like, I'm no longer AM Picker. I'm not going to do this shit. Like, that's how insecure in my feelings I can get. And I was like, I'm no longer AM Pickers. Like, I don't need to do that shit. I created Death Pile Picker, and I was just ready to like burn it all down. Like all of my previous stuff, I didn't care. But Tim, over the years, he had sent me a message. This was after the fact. And he just said, hey, I want you to know how much it meant picking with you. You're an awesome guy. I enjoyed it, all this stuff. And I kept AM Pickers for like another 2-3 months. And then it just became, it wasn't an emotional decision. It was a business decision because AM Pickers is not that great. I mean, like you have somebody like Kevin around. I actually messaged him and I was like, hey, dude, I was thinking about changing my name. I have Death Pile Picker, which is a great name. I mean, when you look at it, I was like, I was thinking about changing to Death Pile Picker from AM Pickers. And he's like, yeah, I'd have never named it that. Like, I'd change your name. I mean, he straight up told me, he's like, that's a stupid name. So, but outside of that, once you met them, then I'm personable enough and funny enough. I'm, like you said, I'm a good guy. They're good guys. And you find those people in those circles.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
Tim's a good guy. Yeah. I'm glad he reached out to you like that. That's awesome.
100%. Because, like I said, I was just like, these mother. Everybody. I'm not gonna recap the list and those that were most painful. But if you're on that episode, you know who you are, probably. I mean.
Brad, you want to read the question that JP's
Yeah,
got?
JP's got a question for each of us. What do you think is the hardest part of reselling for each of you? Who wants to go first? Mike?
Hardest part of reselling is consistency.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I went back to Uncle Mark's yard sale, and I just showed up, and I brought a couple tubs full of things, and I just sold it there. And what it was is because I'd seen the hit that they took at 127, and by hit I mean Kevin had to pay out of his pocket while Dave and Kerry mooched off of everybody and got the free shit. But yeah, Uncle Steve and your wife convinced me you're a good dude. Yeah, so I went up there. I brought a bunch of stuff. I donated a little bit extra to their stuff. I gave Aunt Lori some extra money, and I said I appreciate you hosting stuff like this. I had a blast. It helped cut down on my death pile, and yeah, this material crap. It doesn't matter. Like yeah, I always say it. Like there's nothing that could go out there and wash away or burn down, and it would change my quality of life. Like doesn't matter.
Yeah.
To some people, it is a living and they have to do it. And I'm very, very fortunate that I have a wife that, number one, supports me. Number two, makes great money. But number three, acknowledges that I am not safe for work and I should not be in the regular workplace. And she's like, no, just do this reselling. And
That's awesome.
I'm very fortunate with my retirement and everything that I just have to work. I don't have to do a lot to make a difference in what I was making before.
Yeah, I got you.
And we live a great life.
Yeah. Well, we need more videos from you, dude.
Yeah,
You're good. You're good picking.
Again, consistency.
Yeah. So Mike took the good answer with consistency. I'll say the problem for me tends to be not buying. I tend to buy too much, and then I'll buy stuff that, like today, dadgummit, I bought at a yard sale. I bought a Tony Hawk skateboard and the Tony Hawk Wii game, blah blah blah, because it was a decent price, and it's like I can sell this. And then but as soon as I got in the car, I was like, man, I don't want to pack and ship this stupid thing. So hardest part of me is saying no.
It's the skateboard,
it's the actual skateboard thing for like you stand on, and the game too. It was like the whole little deal. But yeah, I just like buying stuff that I don't want to sell is a problem for me. I don't mind the shipping's a breeze and listing. My wife does a good portion of the listing, but I don't mind doing listing, and none of that stuff bothers me. It's just the most difficult.
So you run a sweatshop at your house too?
I do. Actually, no. I'm just a kept man. I'm a kept man, and I,
Yeah. Leroy, what do you think about yourself? The hardest part of reselling for you is?
There's a couple things. First one is everybody that picks on me for selling $5 items. If it's getting sickening, I'm getting disgusted with it. Because I buy an item for $4 and I sell it for $5, and eBay takes 20% of that. Doesn't mean I'm not making money. I still make $26,000 a year. So and so all of you guys that pick on me, like, leave me alone.
Yeah. Don't forget you left out your promoted listings part too.
Yeah. No, I've moved twice in the last 5 years, my business and my life, and it's actually, I'm thinking about it now, it's the toughest thing. I don't wish anybody. I know Mike had to move, but I had to move your eBay business and you once, and then this time my eBay business. It's a pain in the neck.
I gotta leave Leroy alone. I think he knew. We'll pretend that he knew what was coming, but Leroy would just, it don't matter, $100. You go, I'll put it up for 40. It's gonna go. That dude lives at a bottom end more than a gay person. I mean, he's just.
Holy
That dude will undercut anybody. He does not care. Leroy.
You're never getting on Trash to Cash. Kevin,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, hey, I'm either gonna get a whole bunch of subscribers for this, or I'm gonna lose a whole bunch.
Hey, it's a gamble. All right.
Hey, thanks either way, man. Hey, it's fun.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
I want to say real quick before we get, I wanted to answer the question too. What's
Who
hard
cares
for
what
me?
your answer is, though? Really?
Yeah, well, there's two things. There's two things that's hard for me. One of them is staying motivated, and the other one is keeping
Avoiding
things in a
politics.
death pile. See, Mike is a death. What is it? Oh my god! But yeah, I just keeping my death pile stocked up because right now.
Did y'all hear what they did to Trump? Did y'all hear what they did to Trump?
Oh my gosh!
I hear that 4 times a week from Chris.
No, you don't. I ain't complained about that in a month. What are you talking about?
I haven't been here for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh man.
Having me on shows is like having Trump on Twitter. It's some funny shit said, but you wish they weren't there. Like, that's it. Just,
So not true. Hey, that's the whole reason I invited you onto this show, bro. Because I knew it was going to be. I knew it would be a white knuckle ride.
Yeah.
That's right. That's good. It's a good time. I did have something that was something to do with the hardest part of reselling. And you said something about not having a death pile, or you had something about the death pile being too big, right? But or like the skate thing that you had bought, the Tony Hawk? Are you ever to a point where you're like, hey, because this is the way that I operate. I have enough friends in this industry, and this shit doesn't matter to me, that I will buy something and sell it to them for a premium, because number one, it helps make them money, makes me a little bit. I ain't got to touch it, and obviously a lot of that happens. Kevin got very lucky when he caught me during the move, and he likes to tag me in his stupid skis. Like, he sold those water skis that I bought for like stupid price, and I didn't want a premium, because when it comes down to stuff like that, I don't care. Like, I find Disney stuff, I'll call Rod and have him come over and pick it up. Like, there's certain things that I just don't want to touch when I'm out picking with them, because it doesn't matter. It helps them. It helps them grow their channel. And Lord knows I'm not going to make a video for another 60 days. So, yeah. But out of that, like, buy stuff that have somebody to sell it to.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that I'm looking forward to, like coming down the pike, is having an ability like to sell stuff off in wholesale, like just lot it all together and sell it. I mean, would you do that? Let's say, for instance, there's somebody that's coming that they've got, they want to buy something at 3x and you bought it at 10x. So you buy something for $10, it's worth $100, but then you sell it for $30 so they can sell it for $100.
Oh yeah. Honestly, that's what like selling on over on One Stop Shop or something like that on District. That's kind of the thing, is like, I'm happy to sell that stuff off cheap. I just did it with a bunch of plush here not long ago. It's like, isn't
Kevin doing that now on his new channel on District?
Hey,
yeah,
Leroy.
You got to promote your guys, Leroy. Come on.
Yeah, Leroy.
No, I mean, you're welcome to do it, but nothing announced.
I thought it was out there.
Did I say anything about it? I'm paid to promote this kind of stuff.
I'm sorry.
And by paid, I mean not paid, but expected. That's what I mean by paid.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Leroy, you
everybody go check out. Go check out Dibdit.com and get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Yeah.
There we go.
Come check out Hatified.com and come get your hat.
No, Chris, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Dibdit.com right now.
Oh, okay.
keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Keep an ear out. And if y'all have stuff in your death pile that you're willing to get rid of, and just do it in bulk, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I mean, it actually came down to something today where I thought I needed to be in a position where I was going to help my grandpa out. Unfortunately, I don't have to. We helped out a lot, but we were trying to help him recoup some more money. That I basically called up Kevin and I'm like, "Hey, dude, like X amount, this amount more," and he's like, "Absolutely." And then my grandpa's like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
No, like he's proud and a little stubborn, but at the
Yeah.
same time, if it comes down to it, he will do it. And if that's the case, then I told Kevin will always be my first call. He's done enough, I guess. I don't know why I say that. I've done way more for Kevin. Kevin doesn't do crap for anybody that isn't beneficial for Kevin. He's still a good dude. I mean, he did come on a live. That cost me a couple $1,000s right there. But
Well, I mean, he saved Chris's life. Chris was on like best on life support, and when you got Kevin to come in, it was like that, like that, and then it's like Chris came alive. I mean, he like every day, every time I talk to him, he's like, Kevin came on the show. Kevin came on the show. Hey, Kevin came on the show. Kevin came on the
yeah.
show.
And then you follow it up with Carrie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh,
So you said you
man.
do.
Like, Carrie's like the reselling Jack Kevorkian. Like I'm just,
Yeah.
I hope you kill yourself. I don't care.
You said you do. I asked Carrie this question. I asked you. I heard you mention, whatnot and doing live selling and stuff like that. Do you prefer live selling or do you prefer just eBay selling?
I prefer eBay.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you have a
like,
whatnot?
with the profit and everything. There are certain. I would like everybody to consider both, because both is not a wrong answer. There are different ways in which you would build it, and I will always promote the best way for certain people. If you don't have a following or if you don't have that entertaining aspect, then you go on there and you put items up at a set price, start price, run it. Just run it. Run it. A lot of the time people are like, "Oh, take a look at what I got. CW, no." I'm like, no, run it. You make somebody have an impulsive buyer, they say, "Hey, I want that. I want to do this," instead of looking at everything. Just make it a mystery. There are different ways to do it. You run like items, you run items in bulk, you run items with the same weight, like DVD sales, and you just go out there and you start it at $2. I'll always say, if you're new, start it at $2 if you can afford to. But there are different business models for everybody that can work. Different for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just taking the opportunity to do it. A lot of people you will see, like we've ran into people that we were out looking at bulk buys and stuff, and I'll limit myself. The chances that she's watching are very slim, but she was new to reselling, didn't understand the dynamics of sell through rate, actual value, and she's like, "Oh," and I'll tell you this, like, I've got a shed that has a ton of those kind of things. I've always known what kind of ROI I want. And I think starting out, you kind of expect a little bit more, but you didn't have a good idea of the sell through rate. So wake up, Leroy. What the hell?
I'm
Hey,
being
when
quiet.
old man napping.
I'm being quiet. I felt like I
You didn't understand the aspects or the details of sell through rate and how important that can be. But I will look at stuff completely different. Like I can look at something and be like, all right, if it's not $15, I don't want to deal with it. If it's less than that, even if it's over that and the sell through rate is like under 30%, I would rather take a hit and I'll pull a Leroy and I'll put it at the bottom of the market because I want it to be the first thing gone. Like it's 30%. Now Leroy will do that on a Pokemon Game Boy. He's like, shit, watch this. And $2. But I'm sorry, Leroy.
Leroy, he's giving me a hard time. Hey,
He
Kevin
always
already
does.
said,
That's why I
look,
came on here, because I know
Leave
Mike
Leroy
likes
alone.
Kevin
I know-
already said to leave Leroy alone now.
None of this that I'm saying in regards to pricing at the bottom end or anything is nothing that Kevin hadn't already said to Leroy. Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Wait a minute, Leroy, you one of those that race to the bottom?
No, I start at the bottom.
Oh, you.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. If I buy something, okay, if I buy something and it's and I pay $5 for it and it's worth 35, and I go and I look and most of it's selling for it listed for 35, it's selling for 29. I'm listing it for 25. I paid
Now,
$5.
So do you take offers on that, or do you leave it at 25 and that's the bottom dollar you're going
If
to
it
take?
doesn't sell in a week or two, I'm selling it for 15.
Okay, so you give it a week or two before you drop it. Okay,
I'm still making money on it.
right, you are.
When I shut my eBay store down, I was 30 average sale price.
You're what?
You were what? You froze up there, buddy.
$32 average sale price.
Well, that's good.
$32. That's good. That's a lot better than my
Yeah.
ASP.
I always stay 29.
$150 average MSRP.
150 probably. Yeah.
Well, look, here's the goal. When we get to where we got the $150 ASP that Kevin's got, then we're in good shape. You know what I mean?
Well, just come picking with me. That's how he does it.
No.
Hey, Kevin might be big time now, but I've watched him since the day he was selling them little backgammon pieces off for $0.25.
That was last week.
Was it
That's last week.
was it ET keychains?
Yes.
Yeah, the ET keychains.
Still has those.
He still got a bunch of them, don't he?
Yeah, y'all are. I mean, all this stuff is just normal. Just
Hey, you know,
Kevin has done nothing except set false expectations for every other reseller out there. You know how many ashtrays? I brought ashtrays and Tupperware to Uncle Mark's garage sale and couldn't sell them there to Kevin's fans. And I was just like, I'm done with this shit. I'm leaving it here. Kevin took it and sold it on eBay. Oh, like son of a gun.
you know, hey,
That's what painful is.
I wish he would do now I'm not really trying to get into his business, but he bought all that huge tote of damn it dolls. I would love to know. Now we all know what he paid for that because he said in the video. I would just love to know what the profit margin on that was, because he had to make a killing off them damn it dolls.
We don't talk about the money Kevin makes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't talk about the money.
We're still a podcast. Don't talk about the money.
Did
Kevin.
anybody buy one to support?
Oh yeah.
You're sold out.
Did any of you guys buy one?
No.
I did.
Yeah, I bought one.
You bought a damn it doll?
Yeah.
No, when I negotiated the whole tub, I bought that thing. I got the price on it. I asked the thing. I had to pull it out.
I wanted to get one of his little animal, man, but
want
people eat those things alive, man. I mean, it's hard to get one of them.
I got a red and white one. I mean, a red Steelers black and yellow one.
Huh?
Yeah. So now something I can look at it. If any, this is something I want everybody to realize. If anybody in the chat other than Kevin, had those damn it dolls, we would still have
every one of them
60 to 70% of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and that's why it was an easy pass for me. Like she offered it to me for $100. I said no. That's more up it's a multi-quantity thing right up his line. And he has viewers that are like, hey, I want to support you. That's why the ET thing's popular. That's why the Mustang keychains are popular. If you can get some stuff that's like $10, $15, and some of them were over 20, and over half of them were viewers during that initial push. And then as you get to the Christmas holidays, that kind of tapered off, and it became a little bit more people buying them for the holidays. But then after the new year, it just dropped off, and then it started sprinkling again.
even them wrestling headbands or whatever it was he has. I mean, those things, and see, and I love watching that because it gives. I love him putting that kind of content out, showing people, hey, multi quantity. Yes, you're buying in bulk, even though it don't sell fast. Over time, you're gonna make money with that over time, and I love seeing that, because. And that's helped me because I bought multi quantity too, and over time it does. It makes you money over time.
The headbands were for me too.
Mm.
I tell you, I like it. Kevin doesn't pick. I don't even know how he makes videos, like picker videos. It should just be called Death Pile Wealth Flipper, and then just that be it. Death Pile Wealth Flipper, and then just get rid of his picker channel. Like he goes out and finds some stuff, but it's Tupperware and ashtrays. No, again, it was part of a big lot that I found, and like I was telling y'all, like, hey, if it's something that can't make you money, just take a slight premium on it, pass on that value, pass on that kind of savings, allow somebody else to do it. I don't want to do clothes. I hate doing clothes. I just don't. I don't have a flat lay setup. I don't want to do measurements. Don't care to do
I
that.
don't like clothes.
But if I've got something, and this would go to anybody, Kevin just been fortunate where number one, he's rich, and number two, he doesn't say no. And
You know,
and
Hey,
I'd be like, hey, dude, do you need this kind of stuff? There's some stuff that he's like, no, I don't need that. But there's certain
the,
things, wrestling headbands, like they're nothing, dude. They're some of them are
yeah,
like $9.99 free shipping, $8.99 free shipping, but it's viewers that are just like, hey, I want something to
yeah,
support him, to support his
yeah,
family, support his kids, to show that kind of stuff. And you know what? God bless him for having that because he pays it forward and dividends
yeah.
to everybody around him,
He does.
and
oh
even
yeah,
that
He does.
aren't around him, like what he's able to give back to everybody. He does that. So you find people like that. Hell yeah. It's the same thing with Brad. If you had something, Chris loves it and you don't want to deal with it, be like, here you go, dude. I bought it for X amount of money. It's worth this amount of money. Give me this amount of money. And y'all both profit on it. I got no problem. I do it with Dave. I've done it with Rod. Like Rod had his mom listing some clothes. And I just told Kevin, like, hey, I'm doing this going to Rod because he wants to have his mom listing, kind of like helping her out to make some money and at the same time build his business. I could do that tenfold with the crap that I have.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that stuff.
I don't
Yeah.
mind listing. I don't mind listing clothes. It just hurts my back. I haven't got a good spot to do it. No good lighting. No good background. None of that. I mean, I just don't have the space to lay clothes out. I mean, you could create a good background now, but I just don't have a good space to lay the clothes out. And then you got to measure them and all that. And I just, I know that's a lot of work. People have mastered that, and people make really good money on it. Look at Tekken Sports. I mean, he's made a killing off of clothes, But I
Never heard
like
of
it.
her.
But I can't help but picking it up. And when I get it and get it home, I'm just like, man, I got a bag sitting right here. And I'm like, man, I gotta list this. And so I'm just taking my time and listing it. I mean, but I wish I could stand doing it. It's just that it just hurts my back, leaning over, taking them pictures, and then you gotta get that. Like I said, it's too tedious or something for me.
Tedious. It's too tedious, Mike.
Yeah, I ain't doing. I ain't touching that.
I'd rather dig electronics out of a dumpster and bring them home and plug them up. If they work, then I sell them. They're working. If they don't work, I sell them as parts of repair. I mean, I'd rather do that.
I still haven't seen you list
But
the 800 blenders I gave you.
What? You haven't seen those?
No.
So,
But I mean, don't be hesitant. What I'm saying is like, don't be hesitant. You don't want to list clothes, but don't you come across a good deal? Don't be hesitant to buy the deal or
Yeah.
pass it off to somebody else. Like that. That's what I wish everybody would do. It's like just because you don't like it doesn't mean there's not somebody that you can support, that you can pass that on, or hell, like Leroy is saying, these new up and coming districts that you can wholesale stuff on, and you help promote certain things and build yourself within district or the other districts or sell sites on there. Like, take advantage of stuff like that. If the opportunity is there, do it 100%. Like, get rid of some stuff that you want, take a hit, and just free up some space. It beats the heck out of like donating them back to the thrift store. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If there's certain things that need that done, do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go out there and grab a tub and just say, just something out of my mind. I'm not going to list this. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to deal with it. But I'd rather have the space. Be willing to do that. Worst case scenario.
Mike,
Don't be afraid to downsize.
Mike, how long do you let an item sit in your store before you start recycling it? As far as like what you're talking about there, building a lot for them. No set time.
Mm-hmm. No, there's also certain things like Kevin, for instance. I've got to tell him he goes to 90 days and then he wants to, or sorry, he goes to a year and then he puts it at 30% off. My only problem is like, could I have sold that at 10% off? Could I have sold that at 20% off or 25% off? And what's the time? I've tried to run different things like, okay, when it gets to 60 days, I'll take 10% off. When it gets to 120 days, then I'll do 20% off. And then like kind of 6 months or 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, like trying to figure out if that works. But
so do you show that as a sale, or do you just adjust that price and it just
I would show it as a sale. Show it as a sale. Yeah, but a lot of times it's just being willing to make offers, and thank goodness. The greatest thing about the app most recently was when they allowed to send offers with the bulk, and you just click the box and everything, and you do a percentage, because nothing made me more upset than having something for $20 or $19.99, and then you're like, okay, let me shave $2 off of this, and just say I want to do this at $18. And they'll be like, you have to do 10%. You need to do that extra 0.9%. And I would rather have sent an even offer number. I always price it just below that, like $19.99. But you couldn't send an $18 offer. You had to go down a full 10%. So it's just more typing. Now you just type 10%, 5%, 20%, whatever it is, and they just send out the offer. And I love that. But I zeroed out my store during this move, and I've yet to really build it up. I tell you, it was bad. I was down to like 1,500 because I was on time away. My 90-day total was like 1,500, 1,600. And yeah, it was like, that
sounds like my store though.
I'd shut down. We were on vacation, and then I'd shut down for the holidays, and then in preparation for the move, like trying to get everything, and then during the move, and then for another, I did 25 days after the move. So I wasn't listing anything, but I had it time away, or I just wasn't listed, so I wasn't selling. But it was a solid period, and now I'm at 4,200. I've got 71 active and 83 sold. But that's just before my grandma passed. I had started listing for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I started to see some consistent sales. And obviously, because I was down to like 1,600, now I'm up to over 4,000. So that's it. Like, if you list, like, it'll happen. Yeah. But normally, like when I'm doing this and doing it normal, I'm over 12, 15,000 for a 90-day total. And that was me doing it part-time.
Do you do yours? Wait a minute. What?
No, go ahead, Chris.
When you do your listings, do you list by number or by dollar amount?
Neither.
What?
Oh, you're asking me?
He's asking you, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were asking somebody that lists.
Great comedic timing.
Never mind.
We are delving into this.
Like, this is a reselling podcast?
These murky waters here. Let's go back to Dick and Bart jokes or something. Like,
yeah, right. What was you going to say, Brad?
I said, this is a reselling podcast? What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, before that, he was going to say something.
My 90 days is 3,000.
Your 90 day is? Let me see. I don't even know what mine is.
Yeah, but you got to understand, Leroy 3000 is actually $9,000 worth of stuff that he priced at the low end. Okay, so it could be
That's
it could
pretty
be
good.
higher. What do I do? It really isn't about a certain thing. Like in getting to this, when I made the move and I had to come through and kind of rebuild my store, I started listing stuff that I'd bought in November that I'd never even touched. I sold a Kirby floor cleaner. I bought some stuff at Goodwill. These homeschool education stuff from the 80s. There's these two massive boxes, and I bought four of them, $25 each. So I had $50 tied up in a complete set that I sold for $350. I could have sold for $500, but I pulled a Leroy. I priced it at $400, and they sent me an offer for $350, and I just took it. Like I wanted it gone, and uh, that's what I do. Like right now, and trying to organize this. There's a reason why I'm in my wife's office. I'm not over here with like flowery chalkboard shit in my eBay room, which is like, have a good day, bright love, sunshine, eat, pray, love. No, I don't give a crap about that. I'm in
No,
here
I
because
think
my garage is just blown up.
your homophobic behavior from before is a mask you wear.
This guy loves wiener. Right?
So I was going to tell you, you talking about your 90-day total. Mine's 7,500, and it's actually up 52%, 52.9%. Is where mine's at, and I believe that's because of how I'm listing now. I'm doing something completely different out of my wheelhouse.
You're normally at 45, and you said you're at what, 72?
75.
75. Yeah, so you're right on the 45, 4,800 mark, typically.
Yeah. Well, see, I've been listening. What's that, Leroy?
Go
ahead.
My average is like 18,000 for 90 days.
That's good. Yeah. It's good. And see, like I said, mine's up 52%, and that's because I changed how I list my items now. Like before, I was doing it by just doing 10 a day, regardless of the dollar amount. It didn't matter what it was. And now I switched it over to where I'm listing $500 a day. And I've been doing that for 2 months, and everything's been going up. I mean,
but is it $500 worth of stuff, or you just overpricing it?
No, it's $500 stuff. I'm not cheating
Leroy?
myself. I'm not cheating myself. I'm not. I'm having to. I am. I can't even think of the word, but I'm not cheating myself. If I cheat myself, then
apparently none of us
can
think of the word. We don't know. We don't even know what word you're thinking about.
Well, I don't know what you're saying. Now I think Chris is drunk.
Right.
Yeah. You know, he's out here doing stuff with it's
the thing and the whatnot.
Some people would call it
the stuff,
but not me.
No.
I am strict. I am strict on myself, and just I turn into Biden. I beat Medicaid.
Leave him alone.
It's an old man you're making fun of, Chris. Comb your beard.
Nah, I tell you this. There are certain times where I get in a mode like that where I just have to pull a tub, and I'm like, I'm going to list what's in this tub, like whatever it is.
That's what I do.
In doing this, I have to organize my garage, and I've been saying this for months, but I moved some stuff over and prioritized some other. I just need what I see, I need a list, because as you see, like I don't have a ton of items that are available for sale. I mean, I went from having 450 items to having 3 pair of shoes listed during my move. And I just I cleared my store out, like I said, for that whole time. Yep. And now I'm just trying to rebuild and actually sell some stuff, and it's actually coming through. It's doing good. I have more sold than I have listed right now, but I really need to buckle down on that. But I just have to be willing to, whatever it is, list it or list big stuff to get it out. Because I've had floor mats for my wife's Honda Civic sitting in there. I've had floor mats for a Toyota 4Runner that are sitting in there. And like, I could have listed those a year ago, but they just sit there and they take up space. So you know what? I'm going to prioritize big items, but at the same time, I'm going to prioritize what's in the way first. Get it set up in somewhere else. Sitting on the shelf doing nothing does nothing for nobody.
Yeah.
Like that. Bottom line. And my problem is, like, I'm just talking about my garage. I've got a 10 by 30 foot storage shed that is chuck-a-buck full of just
Death pile.
of dust pile. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do
Yeah.
you store your stuff at? Your listed items?
Fort Knox.
Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a good
Fort
place.
Knox.
that's a
No,
good
it's in my
place.
garage. They're in my garage. I have some bins that are skewed like A through Z. Actually, it's
I
A
didn't know.
through U.
I didn't know
I
if you
know
had a
the guy
storage
was a
unit or
good
something
setup
like
if you want some
I-
information.
Storage unit is just death pile. But the problem is, a lot of my house has a lot of death pile too. But I've got some lateral files. I've got some of the smaller clear tubs, and I've got some of the 27-gallon tubs that are set over the side, and then I've got like an oversized rack that's in there, and then I've got a shipping station, kind of manufactured out of like some old rickety shelves. I kind of cut them down to where they would handle some boxes or anything in the interim. But at the same time, like I can't even walk through it now. I got to step over crap, step around crap, and it's overwhelming. So
That's
like,
the way to speak about your wife.
if I what
You got a man. You're not going to worry about that shed or the garage. You're going to be in the doghouse if you keep talking about it like that.
Yeah.
well, it's actually funny when I was talking to Kevin earlier today. She'll bring it up. She's like, "Hey, he dies. I ain't even selling the shit to you. Just come pick it up." she does not care.
Yeah.
She does not care one bit. And like I said, I don't care either. And it would go to a good place. And I just said, whatever you do, don't give it to Rod. I said, that's my. I updated my will with my grandma passed, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta update my will. And I just said anything to everybody except Rod.
Except Rod.
Except Rod.
Hey,
That's it.
before we get out of here, what does Mike like to sell and list and sell? What is it you actually like? If you had like a thing that's like, that's my thing, what's your thing?
Toys and video games.
Toys and video games. Any specific
Action
toys?
figures. Action figures.
Action figures,
If I could come across them, I don't like selling them. Right now, I'm just building up my collection. I bought a bunch of Street Sharks, but you get Street Sharks or G.I. Joes or Thundercats or He-Man, like come across some stuff. I love picking them up. Selling them is harder than that, but at the same time, like it's kind of picking those. I love picking those up. What do I love to sell? Video games, because I don't play them. I build a Nintendo collection, but it is strictly, it really is just Mario.
Yeah.
I've got the N64 and Super Nintendo, and anything that I can get along those lines, like everything Wii to Wii U to Wii to Switch. Most of them are like Mario games. I love Mario. I love Mario Brothers. But outside of that, like I can pick up a Pokemon game. I'll sell it the next day. I don't give a crap. I don't care. I don't really care about Pokemon.
You sell it for $5?
Yeah, that's right. Do a Leroy. No, I want to make some money on Pokemon stuff. But that's it. They have a great sell-through rate. So video games are always great. Action figures don't necessarily have a great sell-through rate, but at the same time, they're cool, like the G.I. Joes, the Star Wars, stuff like that. And once I have we have our house built and I have my dedicated, I'm going to have a dedicated shed that's 30 by 30. And then I'm going to have a dedicated workspace inside that's air conditioned. That's why it sucks working out in the garage right now. It's not air conditioned.
Oh.
Do you resurface your video games?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Just give it a little hot to it.
Right.
Yeah. See, now I'm starting to wonder, bro.
Mike, did I show you?
Video games, okay? That's it. Yeah,
Mike, did I show you
perverts.
my new hobby?
Let's hear it. Let's see it.
What is it?
You guys have seen it. Mike hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's yours.
yeah.
Card collecting? Oh, tool. Flea market.
Yeah.
Is that your booth?
Yeah.
So you're still selling. You're still moving inventory and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
I got to meet Brad about a month ago. I went up and got another 200 bins. So now I have 185 bins for myself.
Are you going to Greenboro or what do you?
I go to Barnyard. That's in Guerrero. And then I'll do some of the smaller little shows.
When are you coming to Pickens? When are you coming to
I don't
Pickens?
get no money in Pickens. Every time I go down to Pickens, I make $60. I'm not going all the way down there for $60. It's not worth it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not
You
doing
don't
good
think
down
there
here?
is there not a whatnot following for tools yet?
I'm so afraid of whatnot.
Put a flat price on it, Leroy. It's not like you would ask an arm and a leg on eBay anyway.
You don't have to do a live show.
Yeah, just do a live show from the flea market and be like, hey, you know what? I had this out there for $10. I'll sell it here for $6, $7, whatever.
I see people. I see a lady. She does it every morning. On Mondays and Thursdays. She does it at one of my spots.
Do it in a heartbeat. Hell yeah, dude.
Well, Mike, it's been awesome having you on, dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank y'all very much. I'm sorry for the delay again, and I appreciate y'all making bad decisions and choosing to continually scale down the quality that your episodes are operating at.
No, we're actually we're stepping up each time. You're the pinnacle. You're the pinnacle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't explain carry in between.
Yeah, that's actually how I got carry on. After Kevin came on, he said something on the Trash to Cash, like, "Well, I've never been invited on the podcast." Yeah. And so I was like, everybody knows that the opener goes on before the headliner. So, since you're the headliner, you got to come on.
Well, you have to do Dave. Like, I don't know how you're going to get Dave.
I don't think Dave would do it. I don't think he'll do it.
I don't think. It will be the toughest one because.
What if you give him a bag of plush?
No.
Hey, now I got a bag of plush I can give him. I got a big old bag. Yep, sure do. Yep.
You just have to remember, like, with Dave, it's easy. Dave is the most selfless person there is in the whole world. It is crazy.
Yeah.
And that means if he's not talking about himself, he couldn't care less. That's the selfless part. So just don't ask him any questions. I'll call him. I'll just talk to him and be like, yep. And the moment I just remotely like, oh yeah, he's like, oh yeah, that's all the time I got, buddy. And then like, if it's about yourself or someone else that isn't him, that's it. Just if y'all manage to do it, just make a big banner. Get a digital background or something that makes him feel special. Just talk about him the whole time. Don't say anything, and I promise you, he can give you a good 2 hours just talking about himself.
Rename the podcast all about Dave.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
That it 100%. And Dave would come on, but the moment you talk something else, it'd be like Leroy just. You're like, so Dave, I was saying, and then you're good.
Yeah.
But then you're like, but oh yeah, that reminds me of a story. All right, there goes Dave.
Gone.
Dave asked me about my day picking when we were out picking, and he's like, "Hey, did you find anything good today?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, I got this. We were this, so I was going over here and all this stuff." And Dave asked me. And so I gave him like a 30-second answer. And then he looked at it and he goes, I'm sorry, dude. I stopped listening right after I asked you.
Yeah.
He didn't hear anything. And I was like, you asked me, dude. He's like, yeah. I started looking at something that wasn't you. That's like,
That's
so good luck with that. Dave would make a great guest. He is an awesome person, but
Oh, man.
that you have been warned. If it's Dave,
Yeah.
just the easiest way. Chris, make your name Dave. Brad, just name
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
Any other guest, name it Dave.
Dave.
That way, when you're talking to Dave, Dave will just think you're talking to Dave. It'll be Dave 1, Dave 2. Don't tell him that. But just as long as he hears his name, he'll bite. That's
Here's
it.
the 80s movie. Do you know the reference? Doctor. You know that reference?
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
Spies Like
Right.
Us, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, Spies Like Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the good
Yeah.
news is I don't even think Dave watches this podcast because, you know, Carrie, when
You got time.
when Kevin even mentioned it that he was live on here, Carrie's like, is that even? I didn't even know that existed. You know, and I was like, well, if he don't, Dave don't either. So
Well,
Yeah,
how
it's
do
kind of like it's the same aspect as like reseller clickbait. You didn't know that reseller leftovers,
Hey, man. I
reseller
say it
locker
all the
room.
time. Every single week, I discover a new reselling
Yeah.
YouTuber I never knew existed. And it's not like they're a small channel. I found a dude like last week. I was telling Chris, I found a dude's got like 35,000 subscribers, and I've never heard of this guy before. It's like, who the
well,
heck is
there's
this?
a ton of them. Yeah, we're just in a different circle.
Yeah.
With 35,000. Well, I mean,
35,000. Now he was English, so maybe that's why I wasn't seeing it or something.
No,
but-
yeah. No, there was somebody else that I'd never heard of at Reseller Rally or FlipCon. Hustle at Home Mom, I think.
Oh yeah, Ashley.
yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Sure, I don't know. I mean, you want to know what I think about that kind of stuff. But I'm a little jealous because I'm like, I got tits too. Why can't I just get a few extra subscribers?
Yeah.
I think it's mainly the cleavage that I showcase or lack thereof. But you know, in all honesty, you find a lot of these people that aren't in your niche, and somebody like Ashley, she does a lot of clothing, and it's the same with like Rachel Strickland. She'll focus on handbags and stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't watch that stuff because it doesn't pertain to you or doesn't really
And it
float your
doesn't show
boat,
up in your
as they
feed.
say.
Yeah.
Huh? It
Yeah,
doesn't
it
show.
doesn't show
Yeah,
up
it
in
doesn't
your
show up in your feed.
Yeah.
And you see some people. Who's the other one? Does the shoes on Whatnot? Renzi.
Renzi, yeah, Ryan and Lindsay.
Yeah,
Right.
Ryan and Lindsay. Never heard of them before.
Yeah.
I went to FlipCon and they were like a speaker, and I'm like, oh.
Wait a minute, you talking about?
Hey, was there anything you want to shout out? Anything you got coming up? Maybe a Whatnot show or a district Dibdit show? You got anything like
I
that
commit
coming
to nothing.
All right, I like it.
Hey, y'all check me out on eBay. We're shooting for one listing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just my store is Death Pile Picker. Start at the bottom. Okay.
Hey Chris, I'm gonna give him some outro music before we shut it off. So let me know.
All right, yeah, okay. Leroy, what you got going on, buddy?
Moving.
You got any flea market stuff coming up?
Yeah, I'm doing $5, $2, $1 sale at the flea market, just trying to get rid of stuff on Saturday and Sunday. I should be out of my warehouse by the next time you see me.
All right, what flea market you gonna be at this weekend?
I'll be up at Greer.
You gonna leave me hanging, Leroy?
Huh?
What the hell are you doing, Brad?
You gonna leave me hanging, Leroy?
Oh, you gotta give him a high
Yeah, there we go. We always high five on the show.
High five, yeah.
All
All right,
now I don't feel so gay.
Right.
All right, you ready?
Hold
You
on,
can cut it. You can cut it whenever you want to, Chris.
I
This
gotta
is-
talk.
Oh, talk then. Dang it, Chris. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Gosh.
Here's
Everyone-
Every daggone week it's the same thing. Chris is supposed to talk.
All right.
Well,
So
come visit
guys,
Hatterfly and buy a hat.
right. Go visit Hattify, join Hattify, buy a hat from Hattify, apply as a seller for Hattify, do all those good things with Hattify. Keep an eye out for new videos weekly. And
You too,
that's
Kim.
pretty much it on my part. Brad, take it over.
All right, here we go. You can cut it whenever you want to.
Hey,
Chris.
thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank
Thank
guys.
you,
Thanks for
Mike.
being
We
with
really
us.
appreciate it. Don't run off either, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Don't you run off either, Leroy.